My name is Delia, and I am, I'm very, very privileged to be here and share my knowledge around skills. It's quite funny because Andy said something about AI for non-techies. So it's weird because I am a techie, so it will be very funny to tell you about AI for non-techies from a techie's perspective. Let me just, yeah, if you can put it there. Okay, so I'll try. Techies, we love demos, so I will give it my best to do something called a live demo that may or may not work. We'll see. There's a backup always. That's rule number 2 of techies, that if you don't have your demo live working, then you better have a backup. So we'll see how we go. Cool. The talk is going to be about how to teach your AI, and this concept of skills and what skills are and why are they so important. Not sure if you've heard about skills, if anybody mentioned, maybe hands up, or who heard about skills? Okay, so maybe it's worth we go to the second slide. It's sometimes you have this situation where you have to do a lot of stuff in a very, very short amount of time. I don't know how it is in your area, but definitely in consulting, it's like, can you do this by yesterday? Or can you do this in 5 minutes? So it's really helpful to have something that maybe doesn't get all the work done, but gets you even halfway there. And that's really what skills are. It's setting yourself up so that once you have repetitive work coming in, you can speed up the process. And is it going to be, is it going to solve all your problems? Most likely not. Most likely you'll feel that you still have to do a lot to get to where you want to get to. But it's going to get you some way there. So we got very excited about skills, both the techies, because you can use them in your coding environment, but also people who are not necessarily coding. So I was thinking about what would be helpful. So I'm gonna walk you through a scenario, but before I start the live demo, just in a nutshell, just to summarize, so it's really these skills are specialized instructions. So you're going to explain very clearly how you would explain to maybe a colleague that you are onboarding, step by step, what it is that it has to do. As detailed as you can, with as many examples and as many even showcases of what good looks like. It's going to be triggered by you because you need to do something. You need to stand up a presentation. You need to set up an Excel spreadsheet that does some calculation. You need to write a Word document. You need to do something in a certain way, following a certain pattern, and you need to do that repetitively. And once you set it up, this is reusable. So you can do it today, you can do it tomorrow, you can do it in a month from now. It's going to evolve with you. So hopefully that explains, but maybe very abstract, what these skills are. So there's nothing like showing you exactly what we are talking about. So let me exit the presentation for a bit. I'm using Claude, but you might be using other AI assistants. And I want to kick this off because the best way to create a skill is to interact with your AI assistant and tell it, hey, please create me a skill doing this and that. Because I'm a consultant, we live in PowerPoint land. So I was thinking that maybe some of you do that as well, that you've got a template in your organization and somebody asks you for a presentation on topic X, but you really want to use that template. And so many times you are going, darn, where do I start? And it's not a blank template, and I have to fiddle with it. And so I'm going to recreate that scenario. I'm going to pick up a Canva template. Actually, I'm even going to show you what I picked up. Let me see. Where is it? It looks like something like this. So it has an intro, some project overview, outline, and so on. So this is a template that I got from Canva. And imagine that this template is your organization's template that you want to adhere to. Okay, so what I did here is so this is Claude Cowork. Unfortunately, you cannot do it in chat, and I'll explain. I have a bit of a different take on the difference between chat, Cowork, and code. So I'll share that in a bit. But before I do that, let's kick this off. So I want to create a skill. I want to use this Canva template as something of a starting point. And I'm just going to ask it to walk me through the process. So let's kick this off. And it's going to take a while. So that's step one. Maybe we are not going to get all the way through. So we'll see how far we get to. But just want to say about this take of chat. So chat, I actually find it really good. Chat is great if you want to brainstorm. So if you have ideas and you want to go, what does this or that do? Or lots of times you're not sure about a certain area. It's really good for brainstorming. Cowork comes into play when you have to do stuff. So when, again, these examples, I need a presentation, I need a document, I need an Excel spreadsheet, I need stuff to be done. That is not really code, because for code they have something optimized, and it's specifically tailored to coding workflows, and so on. So, yeah. While we wait for Claude to create this skill for us, hopefully, let me go back to the presentation. Any questions up to this point? Have you tried creating skills? Yeah, yes, go for it.
Use Claude like every single day for homework and automation and some stuff, but I run out of credits every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you save this, or there is any tips? I know that we can change from the model that we are using, depends on how hard it's going to be this skill, but yeah, it's every single day I need to wait a few hours to finish my work. So not really.
Yeah, it's not. And I am assuming you also don't want to bump your plan and pay more. Are you saving your skills? So do you know that?
Yes, saving. Yeah.
So you know that you go customize, and you've got here your skills. So you would save them here. You're not starting from scratch. No.
I'm too lazy for that.
Yeah, because that would have been my. Because once you create a skill, don't try to recreate it every time.
But does
save
it
and
with you as well, or is it just something that I'm doing wrong? Or using too much?
I guess it depends on what it is that you are doing, and
half of my work.
Yeah, but what exactly does Excel?
Mainly Excel.
Claude has plugin for Excel specifically. Are you using that?
Yeah. I run out of both.
Okay.
Anyways.
Okay. Well, without understanding more about your,
I'm happy to talk to you about it.
There you go. Yes.
It's smart of you. You're probably doing the same thing every day, and you're using excessive tokens because you're relying a little bit too much on AI, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are definitely ways to troubleshoot, but without knowing exactly your workflows, it's hard to say. But yes, getting to a model that doesn't consume so many tokens is one thing,
I do the prompting as well, as detailed as I can, so it doesn't keep back and forth.
Yeah,
back and forth.
the back and forth. And then saving, relying on integration. Sometimes the integrations might be what causes you the pain. Some integrations might be more expensive. Yeah, so there are quite a few options of where do credits go. No worries. Okay, so while Claude does its thing, maybe let's just double check on it and see what it's doing. Okay. Need some information. Yeah, so it's gonna prompt you and it's gonna ask you, what is it gonna ask you? What format do you want it? So let's go PowerPoint and HTML. I want a pixel perfect replica. And I'm gonna do a general purpose presentation. Okay, that looks like it's all it needs from me. Great, so let's go back to the slides.
So those other options, Delia, you had like a work-based example, a basic one, which was the one that you've chosen. What would be the other things that you were, the other options there?
So it was asking, what was Claude asking me? Yeah, so it was asking me, do you want HTML, do you want it PowerPoint, or do you want both? So I said both. Probably only need PowerPoint, but HTML is quite neat to render HTML presentations. Then it was asking me pixel perfect, like you really wanna, it takes the template and then it goes, the dimensions, the spacing, you're gonna see that once you see the mistakes it does, and then you need to fiddle a little bit with it, or there's overlap, or the spacing is not quite right. And then what else was it asking me? Pixel, let's go back. I forgot already. It was asking me, what kind of presentation? So it's like a general purpose? Is it a consulting presentation? Because different types of presentations, they have a different tone. So it's really trying to figure out what it is that you are doing with that skill. Okay, given what would you like to do? Oh, let's just say, I want to build a new skill. I created a couple of skills for the backup, obviously. So I just wanna make sure that it doesn't override my backup, and then if this doesn't work out, I have nothing to show you, because obviously that wouldn't be very nice. Okay, and then, it prompted me again, but okay. So we talked about what skills are, and then I wanted to tell you that, sorry, why isn't this? Oh, yeah, there we go. I wanted to tell you that you can use skills in quite a few platforms. So it's not, so we were looking at Claude, but your OpenAI assistant has skills in, I'm not sure exactly which version of ChatGPT. And then we talked about Microsoft and Copilot having skills. And I'm pretty sure Gemini has skills, because I was fiddling with it in Google AI Studio. So skills in, actually, let me just show you. In a nutshell, a skill is a file. It's a markdown file that has at its basic, it just has a name, a description, and it's gonna also talk about what exactly that skill is all about. So it's really, in the most basic form is just that. And that's why it's so portable across your different platforms. So I created a skill in Claude, but then I want to use it in, say, Microsoft. I'll show you exactly that in Microsoft Copilot, I'll show you exactly that. It's not a one-to-one match, but it's somewhat there. So it's not completely useless. My take on it is that I think they're gonna standardize skills, because it's gonna be yet another standard output that you can then move across platforms. Just because probably enterprises will be focused on a specific AI tool, but then we also see enterprises which have multiple AI tools, multiple platforms, and then it's very difficult to port from one to the other. Okay. So yeah, just a step-by-step guide in Claude of what exactly you need to do. So start with describing the skill, and you can see also from the prompting that it guides you a little bit in what it needs. Claude, it reads your request and it matches it up. And yeah, it also was detecting, hey, I already have an available skill. Do you want to reuse that so you don't recreate it? Yeah, this skill is basically encapsulating your expertise. So it's your way of explaining, okay, I want this done in a specific way, following these specific instructions. And then you look at the results, and a polished, I wouldn't say necessarily a polished presentation, because what you get is still needs refinement, as we are going to see. But it's a starting point. Okay, a couple of things to know. So you don't need to have special commands to invoke the skill, although there is this slash and then the name of the skill. If you notice that it's not using exactly the skill that you want, but maybe something else, and that's the way that you can invoke it, or you can figure out what are the available skills. Again, the more specific you are, the better it's going to be your output, and you're going to have to iterate, as we'll see in a bit. That it's going to keep on prompting us for information and trying to figure out what it is that we want. Yeah, what do these skills help you? Well, definitely to save time. Don't know, you said that you're using it. Do you think that it saves you time? Did you ever try?
I'm involved with these skills. It's amazing, saving a lot of time.
You are pretty consistent, because like that you have a pattern and then you keep on applying it. It's also a certain level of quality that you are getting. And then you don't have to worry about, oh, yet again, I have to start with the template. Where's the template? How do I get going? And by the time you know it, half of your time is spent on how do I get going phase. Okay. So yeah, when should you build a skill? Think about these three steps. Is it repetitive? Do you see yourself doing this over and over again? Can you describe what you're doing? If you would have a colleague, could you explain it to this colleague what it is that you are trying to do? And what is the non-negotiable in this skill? What exactly does it have to do that it needs to pass the benchmark test? Okay, I think that was it for the slides. Do you have any questions about just skills in general and what they are? Does it kind of clarify? Yeah.
I noticed on your demo you would select, I don't know if this was deliberate, but you selected Sonnet as the model to build the skill.
Yeah.
In my experience, I've noticed that using the frontier model, Opus, to build the skill, and then Sonnet to run the skill once you've built it, is a better balance. But do you have any comments around which model you would choose to build a skill, which one you would choose to execute it, how you would make a decision around that?
Yeah. The better the model, the more expensive, and then we are back at the question of what's running. Yeah, you might run out of tokens. So that's one thing. I mean, because this is a presentation and the stakes are not, yes, they are high, but I also want to show you that it's not as great as the marketing portrays it to be, that there are still things to fix. Would it be a lot better with Opus? Yeah, that would be the follow-up. I'm going to try and build it with a different model and see how much better it gets versus does it get good enough. I didn't do that comparison, but very good tip. So it's a trade-off, I guess is the answer. It's a trade-off. But yeah, if you are, you tokens don't matter, your budget allows you, then yeah.
And do you have any tips about how to criticize the result back to the skill skill itself? In other words, to say back to the model, hey, this didn't quite work out, next time do this?
Well, let's try this out to criticize, because I think we're going to do this, because we're not going to like what we get. In terms of tips, yeah, let's see. Let's see what we get, and then we can see. I don't really have tips. I mean, I look at the result, and I look at what are the slides that don't really fit with what my expectations are, and then I would go, this slide, it needs this check, and that slide needs that check. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I give up and I manually change it. It's, again, this trial and error, and this the idea that it's not perfect. So let's have a look. What did it say? What should I call the skill? Yeah, call it like that. That should be fine. Let me maybe say here. Last question. Yeah, okay. What else do you want to know? And as we are waiting to get ourselves a slide deck, basically.
Just a general question about the tool for co-work and code. I mean, Claude released co-work after code, right? And from my experience, I haven't found anything co-worker does and code cannot do it. So I just don't see the point of why did you release the co-work anyway? Because code already can do everything which co-worker does.
Claude Code?
Yeah, Claude.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to choose between those two tools.
So what I've noticed that if you want to code, definitely you will want, it's a model that's tailored to coding, a coding environment, coding practices. But you're absolutely right that you can use Claude Code to generate presentations. Yeah. So it's not optimized for generating presentations, but you can definitely do it. I do that as well. I used to have only Claude Code, and I just installed the plugin with my company's template, and I need a slide deck, created it for me, and I was happy. I think if you are not a coder, then probably you're not going to benefit much from Claude Code. But Cowork, it has a more friendly interface. You have this interconnectivity, so you can connect it to various apps that you use, like, I don't know, if you use Canva, if you use Atlassian, if you use whatever ecosystem you use, maybe in a more user-friendly way. So, yeah, but, you know, where does the line go between them? Hard to say. It's not really a demarcation, like this only does that, this other thing only does that. Probably if we ask Cowork to write some code, it will. You will notice that there's code snippets in the skill itself, because, you know, to build the package and build the resources and so on, well, guess what? It's also code behind the scenes. So, yeah, I guess it's Anthropic trying to target different audiences with different products. You had a question there in the back.
Any functionality that we can use directly to generate code and efficiently?
As a non-coder or as a coder?
Coder.
Have you tried Claude Code? Would be one. Yeah. Copilot. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's
not. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah. They will all have hiccups. They will all have. Again, is this gonna be perfect? No. Is it gonna be a great presentation slide? No. The code is gonna be great? No. It's not.
Is there any system better supported for research results?
I think all of them have this research agent, so I'd give that a try. Again, it's not going to solve all your problems, but it's going to do a little bit. It's going to do a little bit and give you some ideas, definitely. Yeah. Is my time up? The skill is not there.
We can come back to it. Well,
yeah, let's come back to it.
I'm sure everybody's keen to know what we're doing for end of year event.
Yeah, let's do that. And if not, I can show you what it should have produced.
Oh, I'm sure it's slow, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. This is not gonna be fast.
Okay.
Don't build a skill before you have to use it. It's not gonna be as fast as you want. Start in the morning. Start early.
I just wanted to bring this up because that's where Claude Cowork is. So it's really sort of bordering on that agentic stuff. Microsoft and Google are both talking about stuff as well. So you've got Microsoft Copilot Cowork, almost very similar to Claude Cowork, and Gemini Spark we've got coming out, which is doing a lot of agentic stuff. We've got Microsoft Scout coming out as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that area there, which is a whole lot of stuff. They love it because they can charge more for it. That's the bottom line. And let me just wrap up with some. Oh, can you see this? So, I'll go to here. Oh, bit small, but you can see November the 16th. It's blocked out some time here, and this is where it's blocked out just for now. So I can actually go into the document and find out the full details. The full document actually gives all the analysis, all the research, alternatives and stuff. This gives a little summary here. It says, end of year event is reserved. We're going to do a collaborative escape room and geek fun. How good is that, eh? And it's going to be a suitable venue. Is going to be a venue suitable for hosting geek fun and escape rooms. Not a great result there. I expected it to actually pick something, so it didn't. So I might need to go back to my Gemini Gem and figure out why it didn't actually pick a proper venue. But it's got time, 5:30 to 7:30. Could be anything there, and then it's got some alternative selections in there.
Or do you need an event planning skills?
Yes.
That's what it is.
You need an enhanced event planning skill.
Yeah. So I've got a Gem to do that, so a custom fun. Oh, good grief. Why did I do that for? You can't see it, but there's more details on this anyway. You can't see it. But similar thing, I can go to the document and see what we're doing. It's just a bit of fun. So, yeah. In theory, if you did have it really well sorted out and you had it all, if it was a corporate event, you'd have a whole bunch of guidelines, you'd have times which match the guidelines, get the votes, which are most appropriate for the time and the date, and where you might want to go, and it probably would make a good job. I mean, obviously, your office admin would hate this because it'd take their job away. So, but no, it's a bit of fun, really. So I can't see this. So this. We'll switch back in a second, Delia. So, but
still running. So take your time. It's still running.
It's still going. Oh my goodness! I keep talking.
Keep on going.
Right. Just a reminder that we've got an event next month. We have an event every month. We're going off to Radically Consulting, which is on North Street, which is top High Street there. They've got some nice offices there, so we're going to go over there. We've got to talk more around governance. Not the most exciting subject, but it's absolutely important that we get governance right. It's probably the biggest risk factor. If you don't have good governance, you're going to get a big disaster in your organisations. So it's super important. We've got 2 talks on it as well. So hopefully you can make it. The tickets are already available, so you can get the tickets now on Eventbrite. I think 15 or 20 of them have gone. We have capacity. We're trying to keep the capacity to 50. We might have a few more people than that available. But if you're keen and you'd like to come along, it'd be really good. I haven't got my notes because I've got that thing there. I think it's still going.
It needs to evaluate the skills.
Okay, we'll try to do a little more.
Okay.
Think about skills, right? I talked about gems and I talked about custom GPTs. We also there is a difference between the two, although you can take a skill, drop it into a custom GPT, or you can drop it into a gem, and it does more or less the same sort of stuff once it's built. But there is a difference, right? In that workflow, when I showed the workflow, it's calling a gem, very discrete, it's going through a very directed path. What if you had multiple templates in an organisation for presentations? You'll have multiple skills, potentially. Right? Now, are you going to tell it which skills to use or not? Possibly not. But the really smart thing about skills is the system is intelligent enough to have a good guess of which skill you want to use, even though you might not tell them. It might know you're in the marketing department, so you need the marketing format for the presentation. If you're in IT, you want the internal IT presentation. If you don't tell it, it will make a guess. So there's some really dynamic behaviour you get with a skill that you don't get with those other custom agents. So there's a really good advantage for those, and I think all the organisations should be using skills because it allows that dynamic behaviour without you have to be directive too much. Any questions on anything else? Anything at all before we go out and mix and mingle or find out what the result of the skill is?
Maybe.
We're gonna. Would anybody object if I email anybody the results of the skill? Because you've given me a skill we can share with everybody.
Yeah, if you need it.
Sorry? You like it? Okay. No, I'll try and email you out tomorrow a skill. It's just an example of what's in a skill, but hopefully it's very useful. I'm a big fan of them.
And so generally, how long would that have taken to, and is it based on like our internet connection, or is it based on,
no,
or is it standard time? Or?
Well,
once you've got the skill working though, you don't need to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Generating it, so.
Yeah, so it just depends on what kind of work you give it. But now, because we had a template, it needs to understand the template, and then it has to build test cases, so it evaluates the skill. How good does it do? And then it will show you, that's what I want to show you, that there's a couple of presentations, and then you have to assess, is this good enough? Is there an issue? Maybe, can I just very quickly show?
We're sticking around for drinks, hopefully, if everybody wants to stick around. You don't have to go out straight away. And we're glad to talk to everybody.
I just want to show you where it's at. So, no, there's just one more test that it needs to do, but I do have other skills. So this is a finite skill. And then at some point, it's going to generate a couple of slides that you need to check. And then you were asking me, how do you tell it when things go wrong? So this is what when I went through these different PowerPoint decks that it was proposing to me, and I went, okay, these are the things that need fixing. And then it fixed. And then, so it's this continuous loop of fixing and...
But in that case, you're fixing a particular output from the skill, right?
It will give you
Or are you actually updating the skill as you go along?
It does that, yeah. So you're updating the skill as well. And then at the end, it goes, are you happy with what you've got? Then you can save it. And once it's saved, then you can reuse it in different places. And I also wanted to show you that you can say, I have this markdown file, which is the skill itself. This is what this is what is the content of the skill, and basically how it knows how to generate the presentation. And then if you use this, say, in Microsoft Copilot, this is an example of what you would get. So it's not too bad. Not a bad presentation. This is a skill built in Claude and then imported in Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. But then there are hiccups like this one. So, and you can. Sorry, would it be better to
use Cloud PowerPoint in there to fix these things?
Yeah. So actually, Claude is pretty good at fixing things. If you try this with Microsoft Copilot, it's not that good at fixing things. I found that it's easier to just fix it yourself. But yeah, definitely use. Let's have a look. Maybe now it. Yay! We have something. So after all of that, this is the output. And then we can have a look. I mean, it's not too bad. It's usable. You can see yourself using this. Yeah, okay. The timeline maybe not great. So yeah, a live demo that worked, eventually.
Thank you, Delia.
Yay, thank you. Okay.
That concludes our talk tonight. Thanks again to Momentum for being a very nice host for us and buying and drinking food and providing the space. And hopefully we see you next month as well. Oh, also thank you to John for doing photography, and you might get a few more snaps as well outside of us mixing with Angela. Any questions or anything? Let's just talk outside. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.